Hi everyone, my name is Dana and welcome back to All Day Games. Thanks for spending some time out of your day playing games with me. Today we are playing The Sims 4. Well, technically we're not really playing The Sims 4. Today I am introducing you to my current household, the household that I have been having a ton of fun playing on my free time. And I just have been loving them so much, I really wanted to share them with you. I enjoy current household videos a lot. I feel like they give me a lot of inspiration when I'm kind of in a Sims gaming rut and I really want a new idea for a storyline or a way to play. And so today I hopefully am bringing that to you with my current household. If you take a look at the bottom, you can see it is a full 8 sim household. So we definitely have a lot to talk about. We have a lot of Sims to get to know today. So without further ado, and because I can talk and talk and talk, let's get right into them. Little disclaimer first, I'm not going to be paying a ton of attention to each Sim. I may keep this on pause for a lot of it, and when I do hit the play button, we're not going to be too involved with their needs or what they're doing right now. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to save this. This is just to introduce you to the Sims, take a look at their household, and we won't save any of the progress we make here. So if you see my Sims being neglected, don't worry about them. They'll be okay. We aren't going to save this. So without further ado, let's meet our first Sim. I made this household with only 6 Sims. So this family has had 2 additional children since I made them. So to begin with, we will just introduce you to all 6 of the Sims that I started with very briefly, and then we'll get into more detail into all of the Sims in just a second. So this is the mother of the family, and her name is Faith. She's sitting at the table right here. Where is he? Ooh. Sorry guys, I like to have walls up because I think it looks better, but sometimes I get lost. So working over here is the father of the family. His name is Quay. The oldest brother is in here taking care of one of his younger brothers. This is Jamari. We have our second oldest child in here. Oop. His name is Omari. We have our oldest daughter down here. Her name is Cadence. And the youngest child I created, oh, he's taking a shower. We won't bother him too much. But this is Trev. And then our firstborn in-game is Kingston. And finally, we have our last-born child, Aliyah. When I started this family, I kind of came up with the storyline of Faith and Quay were high school sweethearts. They got married because they had a child pretty young, not super, super young. I think in my head, Quay was probably 19, Faith was like 18 or so, and they just decided, you know what, we're going to get married, we're going to basically we're going to make this official and we're going to make this work for our family. Shortly after they had Amari, a little while later they had Cadence, and shortly after that they had Trev. They knew they were going to be a big family as soon as they kind of sort of started having children. When I loaded this household, I had Faith in the medical career. She was level 1, just a medical assistant, and Quay was really, his focus was taking care of the children. Now, something he did in his free time, and you may be able to guess by what he is doing now, is he was putting videos onto SimsTube. So, he really sort of one day just kind of took off. I mean, people really were enjoying the content. They liked the family. I mean, these guys are super lovable Sims and super good-looking Sims, so how could you not like them? And people on SimsTube completely agreed. They were like, yep, we want to watch them. So once Quay started doing well enough on the intranet where they had a stable enough income, Faith quit her job as a medical assistant and she went to college. She had always wanted to be a doctor, and so she decided, you know what? And Quay, and her had a talk, and they were like, listen, now is the time. This is maybe the only opportunity we'll be able to do this for you, so why don't you take what we have and you go ahead and go to college. So she got her first degree in biology, and she became a doctor. So right now she's a doctor, she graduated, all that sort of stuff, and she has been loving that, but she did decide she wanted to go back to school. So she's currently in school for an advanced degree in psychology. I can't remember what they call the advanced degrees in Sims 4, because I know they just have the regular ones and then they have the advanced ones, but I am absolutely drawing a blank at what the advanced degrees are called. What are they called? Anyways, doesn't really matter, but she's going for an advanced degree in psychology. I don't necessarily know that Faith would change her job once she graduates, but I don't know. I just thought it was neat to have her go back to school. It was like something she really wanted to do. She doesn't know if it's going to change her career path, but she wanted an advanced degree. She didn't want just a regular degree, so she went back for psychology. I feel like she didn't want to go to get her advanced degree in biology also. I don't know, I just think she wanted a little bit of this and that, something that could kind of go hand in hand, if that makes sense. So that's Faith in a nutshell. You kind of learned a little bit about Quay. I don't think he ever thought he would be able to provide for his family on his Sims 2, but he certainly can. As you guys can see, their house is definitely not a starter home anymore. They currently have 51 simoleons in the bank, so they're doing really, really well. He is an awesome father. He is the first Sim, you guys, I've ever had to reach level 10 of the parenting skill. I have to say, and this is me just, I don't know, I made him, so I know him, you guys. As he's been playing, like as I've been playing him, he's been a really, just a family man. But when I made him, I envisioned that when Faith got pregnant with their first child, he was not super faithful. And when I first loaded the game, I believe it was like the welcome wagon. He was flirting with one of the Sims who came over to welcome them. And Faith caught him. So I remember thinking, oh my gosh, he is a jerk. And I guess that kind of is always stuck with me, because in my head, Quay really is kind of a jerk. Now, he's been such a good dad. If you look at his relationships here, he is like full to the max with all of his kids. I've never had a Sim with this many kids who has full to the max relationship with all of them, but Quay does. But I don't know, something in me still is like, meh, he's a jerk. But he's been really, really great. Now, him and Faith, as you can see, their relationship is not bad by any means, but it is not loaded to the max like him and his children. Faith and Quay, and the whole family actually, just got back from a big trip, like a week-long vacation to Selva Dorada. Now, this sounds silly, but I had them living out of tents. I feel like this family is like, I'm not going to say hippie, but they definitely are interested in like learning about themselves and trying to be better people and yada, yada, yada. So I feel like they went to live in Selva Dorada and they basically lived out of tents to sort of like grow as a family and to connect. And like that was the storyline in my head. So they just got back from that big trip. Quay was not doing any videos in that week-long term that they were on a vacation. Now, in my head, each day is about 3 months. That's just kind of the way that aging works in my head, and I feel like it makes sense because Sims are pregnant for 3 Sim days. So if you look at that at the terms of a pregnancy, about 9 months, 1 day is about 3 months. Anyways, we're not going to get into my random aging mess in Sims 4, but basically what I'm saying is, for me, a week gameplay is like years, you know what I mean? Or about a year. I don't know, I'm not doing the math. But it's some time, okay? So in my head, these guys had been away in Selvadorada for like over a year, doing this kind of bonding as a family. We're gonna be super great, you know, strong and bonded after this trip kind of thing. But Quay wasn't working, and either was Faith. So in my head, now that they're back home, Quay is really focused on getting videos up and trying to make sure that they're not going to be losing any money, and kind of trying to financially make up for that trip. They weren't losing money. They were still making money off of their videos while they were there the whole time. But I just feel like he was making this much, X amount before they left for the trip, and now they're making a lot less. So he's focused on getting their earnings back up to where they were. Faith, I feel like now is like thinking, well, we need to be strong as a family. So when Quay is spending a lot of time working, she's feeling like, well, what the heck? We just went on this big trip to kind of bond as a family, and it's almost like you're throwing it all away. Now Faith is back in school too, so she's really busy and she's focused on different things than Quay, so I feel like they're going to come back in the middle. They always have, at least so far. I'll keep you updated. But I just wanted to point that out. Not everything is perfect. They are definitely just doing different things right now. Don't think anything is gonna falter in this relationship. They are strongly in love. They love their family. They love their kids, all that sort of stuff. But I feel like this trip was a stress on their marriage. There we go. That's pretty much Quay and Faith in a nutshell. They're just a strong, wonderful couple, love their kids, and that's pretty much all I have to say about them. We go on to their oldest son, Jamari. He is awesome. He has such a strong relationship with all of his younger siblings. I really have never seen anything like it. He takes care of them when he can. He works. He is in the landscaping career. He does pretty well at school, so he's really just a good kid. I love him. I don't know where I see his life going completely, but I feel like I see him hanging around the family house, probably not moving out on his own, at least not right now. He doesn't have a love interest, so when he ages up, unless something changes within the next little bit here between when he ages to a young adult, I just feel like he probably is not going to be in a super rush to move out. He just loves his parents, he loves his siblings, and I just feel like he's happy, so we'll see though. Things could change. We're going to move on to Omari, who I really enjoy playing, you guys. Typically, I wouldn't I wouldn't play a sim like this or make a sim like this to play. But he is, if we look at his traits, he's adventurous, dastardly, hates children, and he's greedy. So I feel like he is always having a rough time because he's surrounded by his little brothers and sisters all day, every day. And while they do have a pretty, not a huge house, but they definitely have space for all of the children to kind of be alone, I feel like Omari kind of feels like he's drowning by everybody around him all of the time. He's super adventurous, so in the future, I feel like I see him maybe living in Mount Komarobi or taking like frequent trips to Selvadorada. When they were there on that little sabbatical thing I was talking about, he was totally spending the most time in the jungle. He was looking for treasure, and that was when he seemed to be happiest on that trip. So I feel like that's going to be a lot of his life, where I feel like his older brother Jamari at some point is going to settle down and probably want to start maybe not a family as big as this, but definitely a family. I think Omari is kind of like, not for me, that's not what I'm looking for. I just want to explore and be adventurous and all of that sort of stuff. But I feel like he definitely wants to keep up this lifestyle. So I feel like he's hopeful that he can take a vlog along on his adventures in Selvadorada, or whether he starts snowboarding or rock climbing. I feel like he really would want to hopefully be able to make money by making videos that people would watch him doing those sort of things. Who knows how it'll work? But that's kind of where I see him going. I also see him moving out as soon as possible. As soon as he turns to a young adult, and if there's a way to work it in that he moves out as a teenager, I will make it happen. I've been thinking of it, but there just hasn't been a way that made sense. Like, he has parents who love him and care about him. There's no need for him to run away or anything like that. Like, I don't want to just have it not make sense. But I do think he will move out as soon as possible. He's going to want some of his own space and just to kind of start his own life. Then down here we have Cadence. She is maybe my favorite sim in the whole family, just in general. As soon as I loaded up the family, she was helping clean things up. She does the dishes when there's dishes. Like, she is just unbelievably helpful and sweet, and I just love her. I can't wait to see how she ages up and all the sort of things that she gets into. Now, I will say, you guys, you'll have to tell me how you guys play. In The Sims 4, I tend to plan out stories for my Sims. And if that story seems to come to light, I will take it and run with it. If it doesn't, like, things just come up or something in the game happens naturally and I feel like that makes more sense, I will use that for my storyline. But a lot of times I will come up with storylines in my head just based on how the sim plays themselves. Does that make sense? So for Cadence, I feel like she is extremely trusting, very, very loving, very kind, and I could see her accidentally having a teenage pregnancy. So I will keep you updated on that. You know, Faith had her children when she was kind of young, and I feel like she has really tried to tell her kids, be responsible. You know, we were able to really overcome challenges in life due to some luck. Not luck, hard work, but some luck included as well. But I don't think Faith would really want Cadence to have children super, super young. But I think no matter what, the entire family would always be supportive. And like I said, she's only a child still. She is about to be a teen, though, so don't think that I'm being crazy. But it may not work. Like, as she becomes a teen, I may play with this family, and it may just not, it may not be that sim anymore. And so if that's the case, then so be it. And it also may not happen. What I will do is, if it seems to still make sense for me, I will use my mods and allow teen pregnancy, but I'm not going to force it. So if she ends up getting a boyfriend and, all that sort of stuff, we will see what the game does, but we're not going to force anything like that. It's just something I thought was a possibility. For Trev, we won't bother him too much because he's in the shower. He is kind of the goofball of the family. He's definitely a clown. He likes to be mischievous all the time, and I think he's a lot of fun to play with. I definitely think he's one of the biggest triggers for Omari. I think he gets on his nerves a lot. But overall, he is a good sim. I don't have a storyline for him yet because he's too young. My kids, I kind of just let them be kids. And so he's still in that stage of, I'm just being a kid. I haven't noticed anything like glaring about him yet, other than he is super funny. I could see him being some sort of comedian or super high in the mischief skill because that's just what he's always gravitating towards doing. Then, really quickly, we'll just talk about the littlest guys. Kingston, I was definitely having Faith and Quay try for another baby. I have Woohoo Wellness installed, so all I did was didn't change it, because when you install Woohoo Wellness, it automatically has your Sims, it changes the way that they get pregnant to follow their menstrual cycle in the mod. So that automatically is what I use, but then I also change it and I switch it to all woohoo is a risky woohoo, and I will take off try for baby altogether. I just want my Sims to try that way rather than having such a big chance to get pregnant on the try for baby, because I think it's like 70% chance they'll get pregnant or something like that. Now you can change all of that with MC Command Center and I think Woohoo Wellness. Like you can change the percentage that your sim will get pregnant, but I typically just turn off try for baby and have it only be risky woohoo, which I think is 20%. But anyway, so they were actively trying when she got pregnant for Kingston. And when she got pregnant for Aliyah, they were in Selva Dorada, like I had been telling you, and I had no idea that they had gotten pregnant. And thank God they were coming home the day before she was born. So timing worked out really well because I wouldn't have wanted them to have a baby while they were there because it wouldn't have made sense. I just feel like they would have came home if they realized they were pregnant. So they did, and it worked out really well, and she is living here. So that is my family. They are the Hook family. One thing really quick, you guys, because you may have seen some of the artwork throughout the house. You can get this sort of artwork for your game, you guys, from the gallery if you search art. So I believe I searched for African artwork for this stuff that I found. So let's just see. So like I said, you go into the gallery, you search by rooms. Ah, yeah, see guys? And here is like all of the stuff that I have in the house. I don't know how players end up with these paintings in their game. I think they go in somehow and change the paintings that your sim can actually like paint in game, and that's what these come from, but I don't know how they do it. But you don't have to check off custom content in the gallery. Like this is no CC if you guys look. Then you just take these paintings, you hang them wherever you want them in your house. You can use all of them, you can use a couple, and then I just end up deleting the whole thing. I will say be careful though, you guys, because if you see there, the cost does not match up in the gallery when you delete. So like when I just deleted everything, I ended up with like 30,000 more simoleons than when I started with because the paintings are worth so much. So just be careful if you're trying to play without any like financial help. I would be careful of that because I didn't realize it and then I had to cheat my money down, which was fine. Thank God I realized it when I did and I was able to do the math. So if you are very finicky about that, I would be careful. If you're trying to get more money, I suppose, without cheats, maybe that's a good way for you. But it just feels too cheaty for me. So like I said, I'm not going to save this, so I'm not going to worry about how much money I just gained from that. But I just wanted to point that out for some of the artwork that I had in this house, in case you were interested. And I just think it's a good tip. Like it's so fun to like specifically choose what kind of artwork you want for your household and then sort of get a whole theme going for your entire house. You don't have to have like one room by one room. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that tip. That's where I found most of the art for this house, and I just think it's a lot of fun. And there's no CC, so if you don't use CC at all, or if you're on the console, that works for you as well, I believe. And it's just a way to get new artwork into your game, and I just wanted to point that out in case you saw something and were curious about where I got it. So that was the Hook household, you guys. I hope you enjoy them. I am really, really having a lot of fun playing with them. I like playing with a sim who's getting a couple degrees. I really never play in the social media career, so I like that my sims are like a family of influencers. I think that's really neat, and I just have been enjoying playing my little household in Sims 4 here, so I wanted to share them with you. Thank you so much for spending some time out of your day playing games with me, and I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I have been enjoying playing them. I will see you all soon. Bye!